Assalamu alaikum and welcome to a new video in the Thuluth script. In today's video we are going to look into letters dal and dhal. Those two letters are exactly the same, so we're going to learn one of them, which means that by default we learn the other one. The first thing we're going to start with here are 3 points next to each other, as we can see here. And the first one would be a limit for the first move we have here. Then the next one would be a limit for the other side of the dal. We're going to add a horizontal line on top so that it will govern our move, the first move. So the first move here would be the hilya, the decoration up there, and you want to typically start from this these two lines over here, where you're going to put the lower edge of the pen on this side and the top part on that side, as you can see here. And we're going to move down to the right and rotate the pen so that this will close on this. So to do that move, you basically, and it is 1 point wide, so you're going to go to the right, rotate the pen, and this will generate this triangular shape. This is the first move. Try it, practice it, and yeah, it might take a bit time to get used to. The second move would be 2 points drop from here. And the thing with this move is that it drops below these 2 points. So it would be more than 2 points in height, but you use the 2 points to force yourself to go down, curve, and come back with a curve down to here. That will carry those 2 points on it. So to do this move, what you have to do is basically put the pen right here in the midpoint, and you're going to curve downward. The first curve would be kind of a sort of a smooth one, not a obvious one. No, it would go something like this. The pen would be kind of vertical. You would break, and here you would have this smooth curve that will change into the other one, and the other one is kind of more curvier, like this. So if you were to take a line from here, you would find that this curvature on the right is more, I mean the upper one is the same, but you can see how long this one is and how short this one is. This would give you a nice shape to the dal, and it will also sort of distinguish, make a difference between those two curves, so it breaks boredom. This would be the second move, because the first one is the hilya. The third move, what you will do is you're going to add 4 points from here, right on this side. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just a quick note, when you drop this line all the way down to here, it will kind of intersect with the half a point. This would be the width of the next move, which is going down to here, then rotating back. And for this move, you're going to need 2 points of height below this move. So 1 and 2. And this is where your pen will drop down to. Now, mind you, this is a very kind of steep drop, so you need to force yourself to go down. And when you reach down to here and you have to curve, this curvature is kind of rotating around 1 point, so it is a sharp one. It is the sharpest in this script. So what you're going to do is move in a straight line, straight downward, touch this line, as you can see. And now you're going to start curving, and you can see this shape. This is the circle you're going to curve around, and you have to stop here to see which way this end will point. It will point towards the top part. It will still move in a curved line, and it will stop moving until it reaches this intersection with the right side. So this is where the move stops. This is how you do a dal. with regards to the negative space here, as you can see, it would look curve, then sharp line. And again, here, if you were to measure this one, it would be 2 points. Some people do 1.5, but again, it's because you've got kind of the space between this edge and this edge, so it's up to you. So this is the dal. To do another one without the scale, we could do a quick one going down, smooth curve, then another one that is going slightly more curvier. This one will have to be shortened. I need to cut it from here. Again, when you hold the pen here, you can see the angle I'm using, so you could just pause the video and double check with that. You would go down, you reach down to here, and you would start curving back up to here. Simple, easy. It takes time, I know, but again, it is a beautiful letter, so you would kind of practice more to perfect it, but it is one of those letters that you would be proud of yourself when you get it right, I have to say it. So make sure to keep practicing it and just trying to get it the best way. Now, this is the dal, or the dal by itself. If it was a dal, you would get the dot up here for the dal. When they connect from the right side. They don't connect to anything after them. And when you see it, when you see a letter that comes here, for example, this is not a connection. This is just a touch that we're going to look into in the future, and it is important in Thuluth, but it is not a connection. Not in the majority of cases, it is not a connection. Sometimes it is a connection, but we're going to look into how to distinguish between those two ideas. Now, when the dal comes connected, you would have a starting point from here, which is the line or the connection from the previous letter, and you would stop here. You have 5 points of height to add on top of this curve. And you see where it started to sort of adjust its, once it started to become more perpendicular, that you will outline this line and just add a 1 point up here. Because again, it is like the ba that we talked about. The reason we add 5 points is the fact that the dal itself is kind of 3 points of height. But again, you will have 2 points to actually reach to that start. So what you're going to do here is basically have this side. You're going to go up and curve to the left. And again, you've got a curve here that you're going to rotate around first. But then you've got another curve inside that you will start to rotate with. It's like the alif and the ba that we talked about. Again, it is not that hard to achieve, but yeah, so you've got your first move, which is curvature to the left. The next one would be dropping for 4 points. You could use the points on the right, but I prefer to put them here, and this is where the point will drop and break. And this move, you have to be mindful, because just like the bat we talked about before, you go up and you curve to the left. This will give you this normal shape. But when you go back, you will have to go straightish, so that it will give you thick letter here, but it will be thin up here and thin down here. To do that, you will just move straight downwards, but with an angle, of course, and break here, as you can see. I hope it's visible. The difference in thickness is up here and down to here. Then it goes back normal. Once you reach down here, you're gonna need 2 points of drop, because this will drop down for 2 points. And again, it will drop below the connection here. It's something that distinguishes the dal in this script. And on the inside, we're just gonna use this one, and we're gonna add 2, 3, and 4. So you're gonna drop down, rotate. This might be a bit long, but yeah. Using these, and the same idea as this one, where it has to go down touch the line, then curve back. This is actually too long. We might want just rotate it down here. The same idea, this will point up there and it will stop at this edge. So you drop down, slightly curvier than the one before, then you rotate and you would come back and you would stop here. As you can see, it is pointing towards the tip of the dial, and yeah, it is dropping for 2 points, and this is curvy. This is slightly curvier than the previous one, and yeah, you've got the curve up there, and this is the famous one that you find in the name of the Prophet, peace be upon him, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So yeah, and the dial would be the same thing up here. So to do it without the scale, you would have to move from the left, go up, point towards the left with a curvature, stop up here, then go down with a straightish line, break before you reach the end, then drop down to the left with a curve and another curve to close the dial on itself, just like this. This one is better, of course, but this one was just like a showcase of how it would look like if you were to write it. Again, you have to take your time doing calligraphy. But yeah, take this one. And this is basically how to write a dial. For an example, we could try maybe jad or had. Let me just get a pen for this one. We've got a jim and a dal. So here, for example, is a good practice to do the jim that connects with something that goes above. So as we said before, we've got several jims, and for example here we're going to use the one that connects to letters that are going upward, and as we said before, it is the almond shaped jim. And again, I don't think we mentioned this, but as you can see here, you've got equal sides inside the jim. So yeah, we go down, and 1 point from this jim you will start your dal, and again it will be going up to the left, just like this, with a nice 1 point angle. Then we'll drop down, break down here, add your 2 points, and go down, rotate and come back. So this could be had or jad, either of them. Or had, if you were to write hadiq, which means clever. And here, as you can see, we've got this balancing feature where a letter would balance on the letter that is before it. And this is something that is important in Thuluth, to have these small touches between the letters. So this is hadiq. Don't write the qaf, just write the ha and the. But you would be better at this because I don't really practice Thuluth that much. For the dal by itself, you could, I don't know, dub, which means bear. First move, second, the nice curve downward, straight line should be more sharp. You see, this is what happens when you don't go down below enough. The letter doesn't feel right. This is fair, but if it was slightly longer, and or like slightly, if it was this angle, that would have been perfect. Because again, the same idea about this, when you take a line here, this should have similar sort of sides. Anyway, dal and ba. Like for example, here you could use the ba that we saw before, this one, that some people might find tricky because they can't find sort of applications for it, but you could use this one that goes up, down, and curves back up. So yeah, you can see how this sort of changed. This could be bear, which means dub. But yeah, try both shapes if you want. And this is for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a light one because we've been sort of, getting on this script quite hard recently. So yeah, we'll see you in the next video. This has been Ammar Audio. Like, share and subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about Arabic calligraphy. And as usual, stay safe out there and have a lovely day, evening or night. Goodbye.